Well, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us here on our Valley News Now desk. My name is Alex Larson. Well, if you're tuned in last week, you probably heard me saying that this is something that we're going to start doing every weekday morning to kind of break down what we've done during this morning, what we got ahead of us for the day ahead. We'll cover all that stuff. So we are going to hop right into it. I wanted to start with this video that we had here of a crash that Highway Patrol had put over on their website. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of issues with my teleprompter here. Here we go. Okay. So this weather caused some havoc for drivers yesterday on I-94 near Jamestown. In a 3-hour stretch, North Dakota Highway Patrol said they responded to that there were at least 4 crashes, including 2 jackknifed semis. So there was a lot of action going on yesterday out on those roads. Hopefully everybody was staying safe out there. Now, jumping back, we got big news over in Wahpeton. They got a special election going on today. So what they're talking about here, I'll pull up this video for you. We'll pull that over here. Yep, Wahpeton's got a special election going on today to vote on whether or not to fund a new $30 million wellness and community center. That center would be located on 14th Avenue and 11th Street. It would also include an aquatic center, indoor turf, as well as a senior center. So there are 2 standalone questions on the ballot regarding a local sales tax. If both pass, they'll include a single transaction cap of $75 and an additional 1% city sales tax to fund that new center. If both questions fail, current sales tax will remain in effect. City Hall will be open for voting. They opened up at 7 a.m. and they're going to be open for you until about 7 p.m. today. And it's been more than a month since a Minnesota 6th District Senator, Justin Eichhorn, resigned after being charged in a prostitution sting operation. Today is the special election day to fill his seat. So the 6th District includes parts of Itasca, Cass, and Crow Wing counties, with Grand Rapids on the north side and the Brainerd Lakes on the south end. Today, DFLer Denise Slipey and Republican Kerry Heintzman will face off in a special election, and we'll hear from them right now.
And ready to run. I have the experience and the trusted, proven track record of being a conservative with Christian values that I think that this district will demand.
Our community has been red for so long, and we just keep losing the good jobs. It gets sold out for corporate greed, and it's time for a balanced voice.
So polls are going to be open. That's from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. today in that region. Moving on, your child's education is about to come to a change in the coming years. So that's all thanks to a new North Dakota law, the Bell to Bell Law. So the law, which was just signed on Friday, requires schools to have a phone-free program for K through 12 students by the 2026 school year. While some may disagree with the law, the superintendent over in Hillsboro says it could be a slight adjustment to our everyday lives. And we're going to hear from him right now.
Parents will understand and they'll learn to adapt, and kids will learn to adapt as well. And I think for the most part, it'll go pretty smoothly and seamlessly, but there'll still be some adjustments for some people because cell phones are just part of our lives.
So the law goes into effect the 1st of 2026. There will also be exemptions for emergencies as well as IEPs. And a Fargo man's been sentenced in a June 2024 murder. Randall Duffy is going to spend 30 years in prison for the murder of Jody Campbell. Now, if you remember, he admitted to killing her, saying they got into an argument, and he choked her out for too long. Campbell's body was found inside of a closet, and Duffy waited at least 6 hours before calling police. Campbell was an employee at Blackbird Woodfire Grill, and was well known in the downtown Fargo business community. Family and friends gathering in the courtroom yesterday to give impact statements.
I would dream about Jody's murder and envision her final moments. I am incredibly thankful that we didn't have to go through a trial, but that doesn't take away the fact that my sister is gone.
Now you can read much more about what her coworkers had to say, Jody's coworkers. That's over on our website, valleynewslive.com. And a Frazee man's been acquitted of manslaughter. That comes after a deadly shooting. Authorities say Willis McDonald killed a man in August at the Acorn Lake Trailer Park in Becker County. McDonald told investigators a stranger punched him in the face, so he fired 2 shots and left. He was found guilty of failing to give aid and possessing a pistol without a permit. He was sentenced to 60 days in jail. Moving on here, a Fargo man's been arrested after police say he assaulted a woman and then punched a 2-year-old in the head. We're bringing up his mugshot here. This is Enrico Lopez. Now, the victim did tell police between April 16th and the 17th, there were 3 separate incidents where she was assaulted by Lopez. She reported being handcuffed to a bed and strangled to the point of losing consciousness. That woman also told police Lopez punched her 2-year-old son in the head. Lopez was arrested on Class C felony aggravated assault and Class B felony child abuse charges. Now, Fargo police are releasing their 2024 annual report. That shows a decrease in crime across all major categories compared to the year before. So that includes a 6.1 decrease in crimes against persons, a 5.1 decrease in crimes against property, and a 13.3% drop in crimes against society. So police do plan to hold a news conference that's happening today. They're going to get more into details on those stats. We will have a team there, and of course, we'll bring a coverage more on that on air and online. That'll be tonight. So moving on here, today actually marks 100 days since President Trump began his second term in office, and his administration has made it a priority to limit illegal border crossings and deport folks who are in the country illegally. However, new numbers, though, are showing one border problem has not really been solved. That's drug trafficking. We had Valley News Team's Ethan Kramer spoke with a DEA agent about what they consider the greatest drug threat facing the country and the state of North Dakota. That's fentanyl. Let me bring that up for you.
Fentanyl crisis has touched every corner of the country, and North Dakota is not immune.
It's a very serious drug that we've been dealing with here. It's been in our communities for numerous years now, and it's something that is a high priority for DEA.
Travis Oken is an assistant special agent in charge with the DEA. He says just 2 milligrams of fentanyl could be deadly.
If you take like a sugar packet that you might find at a diner, in that sugar packet would be 1 gram or 1,000 milligrams. So that one sugar packet or something that size, if that was fentanyl, there could be potentially 500 failed doses of fentanyl inside that sugar packet.
So far in 2025, and remember, it's just April, over 22 million fentanyl pills and over 3,000 pounds of powder fentanyl has been seized. In North Dakota alone, they have seized 2 pounds so far this year. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but the amount of lethal doses in that 2 pounds is shocking.
Almost 67,000 potential lethal doses contained in just the 2 pounds of fentanyl that we've seized so far this year in North Dakota.
According to Oken, most fentanyl we see in the Midwest is from Mexico. He says there is an overlap with Canada, but most comes from the southern border.
I won't say there's not any overlap of fentanyl that comes from Canada or the U.S., or fentanyl going into Canada from the U.S. But what we primarily see, it comes from Mexico.
In 2023, more than 105,000 Americans died from drug poisonings, with nearly 70% of those deaths attributed to synthetic opioids such as fentanyl. In Fargo, Ethan Kramer, Valley News Live.
So today is National Fentanyl Awareness Day, and according to the DEA, fentanyl is approximately 50 times more potent than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine, as you heard that DEA agent telling us there in that story as well. So moving on, today it is Vietnam Memorial Week at the Fargo Air Museum. Very exciting time. Opening ceremony over the weekend did consist of a missing man ceremony, 21 gun salute, presentation of colors, and more. So I was going to hop on over to their website quick, give you a little bit of a better look here of what's going on over at the Air Museum this week. Let's pull that up here. So again, this did kick off on Saturday. That was that opening ceremony. Sunday, they kicked things off again. But today, you can see Huey history going on. So we're going to click on over here, open that tab of Huey history to see what they got going on over at the Air Museum. So it looks like 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. If you want to hop over there, Vietnam veterans will share their personal stories of courage, sacrifice, and survival, shedding light on the pivotal role that Huey played in the Vietnam War. They have an incredible setup over there. The presentation is phenomenal. So if you got time today to go hop on over there, they have, again, just wonderful event going on there. So again, we did have that rain yesterday, but we are looking a little better as we head on into the weekend. We're going to hop on over to our website now. I'll pull this up for you as well. It is a day to dry out. Then we're going to end April with rain showers. We're transitioning to a much warmer pattern this weekend. Meteorologist Lisa Green just updating this for us about 6 minutes ago. It looks like today in Fargo, we're going to reach about 54 degrees. Not too warm, but guess what? I'm going to click on this 10-day here. Sunday, 79 degrees. How crazy is that? I'll just pull up our 11-day planner. There we go. Looks like Saturday again, 75 degrees. Sunday, we're getting into 79. Looks like it'll be a little breezy, but should be some good weather to get out there and get whatever you need to get done. Shouldn't be a washout like we had on our hands yesterday by any means. So that's about all I got for you this morning. Remember, you can stay up to date online and on air with everything we got going on. We do post everything to our Facebook page. So if that's your path of getting your information, obviously head on over to our Facebook page. We got a lot of info posted on there for you. Our team works very hard to keep you updated throughout the day. But again, we will see you back here tomorrow. That's about all I got. Again, online, on air, or tune on into our shows. I'm Alex Larson. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay dry out there, okay?